Welcome back. Today we're diving into Barbara Gordon, issue number 4. Imagine being locked inside an off-grid prison where your name is replaced with a number, and your fellow inmates keep turning up dead. This is the nightmare Barbara Gordon is facing inside Vandal Savage's Supermax jail. Let's jump right into the story. We open up inside the walls of the Supermax, where Barbara Gordon and her fellow inmate, Officer Myrna Shelton, are stuck doing laundry duty. Barbara is slowly recovering from being heavily drugged and shocked. As Myrna apologizes for the scar, she says, "Shock therapy is the fastest way to clear your brain of that street trash Sparrow had you on." Barbara, "Apology accepted." Myrna continues, "You put butter on that burn, clears it right up." Barbara, "You know how to clear a brain of psychotropic drugs, and you think I can treat a second-degree burn with butter? That's interesting. I didn't say I went to medical school." Barbara, "You haven't told me why you're here in the first place, Officer Myrna Shelton." Myrna starts telling her flashback story. About a week ago, Myrna flashes back about a week prior. She says, "It was the end of my shift. They were coming after Captain Edlund. It was happening all over Gotham. Anyone that spoke out against Savage and the station was going nuts. A bunch of real police officers were fighting with Savage's Tucos. We see one of Savage's goons shove a kid riding a BMX bike to the ground. Myrna says she wasn't about to stand and watch a kid get abused, so she steps in, as she says, but of course they don't care who gets in their way. And I do, as we see her land a vicious, helmet-shattering punch right into the guard's face. She says, "I probably would have kicked his ass anyway, but it seemed like two birds with one stone thing." Myrna continues, "I helped a defenseless kid and did your father a favor by speeding up my arrest." As we see another of Savage's men grab Myrna from behind, she then knees him in his head as the other one comes at her with a knife that resulted in a scar on her knuckles, before ultimately getting overwhelmed and arrested. As she says, "It's never a fair fight with these jerk-offs." To the laundry room, Myrna notes that she owes Jim Gordon big time, which is why she's standing by Barbara's side. Barbara says, "I'm glad you're here, Myrna. Like I said, I owe your dad. I owe him big. A story for another time." As laundry shift ends, a mysterious shadowy figure watches them walk off into the corridors. Both of them walking down the cell blocks. Barbara and Myrna map out their situation as Barbara says, "So now that I'm tasked with helping you save the good citizens of Supermax, what's the plan? We got 3 people killed. Myrna, that's not counting you, although I will say one more day on Sparrow's cocktail, you might have ended up a mushroom. According to the woman in the corner block who owes me a dessert, the next round of prisoners includes Vanessa Woods." Scene shifts to the dock intake area of the Supermax prison. We see the former city council member, Vanessa Woods, stripped of her identity and given inmate number 882193. As a flashback reveals how Vanessa Woods ended up in custody, Savage's heavily armed SWAT team raids a front business called the Creamery, where Vanessa was hiding out in the walk-in freezer, walking right into Vandal Savage's trap. A splashboard now shows the mugshot profile cards of the targeted high-profile inmates inside Supermax. Political rivals, clean cops, and dissidents all brought to this off-the-grid facility to be silenced or permanently erased under the guise of a fake suicide. Barbara, determined not to let Vandal Savage get away with another execution, walks the cell blocks late at night. But suddenly she hears a scream echoing through the hall, sprints toward the sound, as we see a hand reach out toward her. Barbara Gordon gets grabbed out of nowhere by an aggressive Supermax guard as he yells, 682281, "Where are you going?" Barbara, "I heard someone scream for help." "You're right. I guess you're not sick of this." Barbara, "Sick of what?" Before she can act, the guard shoves her hard onto the floor. The guard taunts Barbara while she's on the ground, asking if she's sick of getting beaten. Her glasses crack as they hit the floor, but Barbara pushes herself right back up, wiping her face and making it clear she isn't backing down, as she says, "Nope, not sick of it." And hear Barbara yelling, "Hey, someone is getting their head cracked over here." Myrna hears the commotion and realizes it's Barbara, as we cut to see Barbara elbowing the guard straight in his face as he yells, "Will you shut up?" While the struggle goes down in the hallway, another prisoner, D, calmly walks past the cell doors down a corridor. The next morning, the loud prison bell rings out. Barbara is sitting quietly on her bunk, during her morning roll call, processing the fact that whoever was screaming for help that night did not get it, as we hear the guard scream, "Roll call!" During the lineup, Barbara steps into the hallway and discreetly tries to ask nearby inmates if anyone knows what happened during the night. However, the institutional fear runs deep. The prisoners strictly recite their assigned numbers and aggressively tell her to F off. In the cafeteria, Myrna joins Barbara at her table to figure out who was screaming last night. She says, "Is Woods dead? Is that what that was last night?" "Barbara, all I heard was the screams." As Myrna looks up, she says, "Great. Here comes Dee." As they eat, Dee walks past their table and throws a threat at Barbara. "Your time is coming, Gordon." Myrna, "What's her deal this time?" Barbara, "I am not sure." Later in the laundry room, Barbara and Myrna talk strategy while they work. They agree that to protect anyone, they need to locate Woods and somehow find an honest guard in this whole facility. But as Barbara pulls a heavy sheet out of the laundry hamper, she stops dead in her tracks, completely horrified by what she just uncovered, as she says, "Oh my God." The other inmates panic as they notice the bloody scene stuffed inside one of those laundry hampers, as someone says, "Call a guard, what is it?" Barbara, "Okay, I was wrong about this. Very wrong. This is a why. There is a reason I'm not seeing. Crap." Myrna, "Holy crap. This isn't Vandal's enemy. This is something else. This is your enemy." As we pull back, we see the bloody corpse sit inside the laundry bin. It isn't Council Member Vanessa Woods at all, but rather Sparrow, lying dead in a pool of blood. Barbara comes to a terrifying realization as she says, "I'm nowhere near understanding what it is." And that brings us to the end of the issue. That twist at the end with Sparrow's body in the laundry hamper leaves Barbara with way more questions than answers, showing that Vandal Savage isn't the only threat lurking in this facility. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.